This is an audio test from Mather Park on the campus of Case Western Reserve University. This is a audio test. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an audio test from Mather Park on the campus of Case Western Reserve University. This is an audio test.
Audio test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Audio test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Reach over here. We'll find out. I think we're all good.
I'm all good with you reaching over.
Oh, that case. Oh, I thought you were asking.
Ooh.
Good. Good.
Best thing he's heard all day,
If anything, you can decrease it a little bit.
Leading off
You having a
for
push
New
button.
York, number 11, Margot Lesser.
Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to the campus of Case Western Reserve University for a University Athletic Association home opener for the Spartans of Case Western Reserve. Lexi Miskey on the mound for the Spartans. The first pitch of the afternoon is a strike on the outside corner. My name's Ron Yantz. Along with me, my broadcast partner, Sar Zucci. And we are under the direction of the very capable Fast Eddie Karakas here at Case Western. Miskey on the mound, 9-2 on the season. Second pitch is high and outside. Count is even at 1-1. At bat for NYU, leading off for the Violets, is Margot Lesser. Lesser, their second baseman. Margot on the season, in 12 games, is batting .275. Miskey with a count, even at 1. And the changeup is swung and missed for strike 2. Let's set that Case Western Reserve University defense. Caitlin Lamb is the catcher for Miskey. In left field, it's Stevie Rigger. Center field, Kella Jagoda. In right field, Durham is playing out in right. At third base, it's Biz Berry. Shortstop's Karen Potts. And here's the 1-2 offering from Miskey. And it's strike 3. Swinging and missing is Margot Lesser. And it's 1 up and 1 down to start the first inning for NYU. Kai Gross will play second base, and Bella Russo is at first base. Miskey with 1 out and 1 strikeout already in the books. And this is Claire Carson with a slap swing and a miss. Carson, a grad student for the NYU Violet lineup this year. Claire on the year in 14 games, hitting just .237 out of that number 2 hole.
And these NYU hitters will have their hands full with Miskey, who's a strikeout specialist. 86 strikeouts coming in to this one now, 87 on the first batter she faced today.
1 ball, 1 strike to Carson. Little slap, it's foul. The count will go to 1-2. Spartans come into this game ranked 7th in the country in Division III softball. They're 15-2, and all 17 games have been on the road. This is home game number 1. It is Northeastern Ohio. It is still March, and it is a remarkable weather day today. Beautiful sunshine, blue skies. And that is strike 3. So Miskey faces 2 batters, and she has 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, she's starting the home season the way she started overall. The first game that they played down in Georgia, she struck out the first 9 batters of the season.
Miskey on the year has made 14 appearances. 10 of those 14 have been starts. Lindsey Barron now at the plate for the Violets, and that is a strike low and away. Barron wears 00. She's the shortstop. Lindsey Barron hitting out of the 3 hole, and typically you have your best hitter hitting third. Leads the team at hitting. She's hitting .381 and add another hit to that list. Barron right back up the middle.
Now batting number
There are only 2 batters in this Violets lineup, or actually on the entire roster, that are hitting above 300. And Sar mentioned that Lexi Miskey would be a tough challenge for this NYU lineup today. And when you come in and you present only 2 players on your roster that are hitting above 300, and then you're facing a pitcher like Miskey, that is not a good combination if you're the Violets. First pitch high, and that is a swinging strike.
And it's Miskey who's given up an opposing batting average 146 on the year, and she's very familiar with this NYU team, and they played really well last year when these two teams faced off in New York City. The Spartans shut them out 3 of 4 times that they played, just 2 runs given up in that last contest.
This is Alyssa Corey at the plate, and she fouls off the second pitch, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning from Mather Park. As you can see, it's a beautiful day in Cleveland, Ohio. The 0-2 offering. And that's a swing and a miss. It's a 1-2-3 put out. Strikeout for Miskey. 3 outs, 1 hit, 1 left. No errors and 3 strikeouts for the Spartan pitcher Miskey. We head to the bottom half of the first. It's NYU nothing. Case Western Reserve coming to bat. Ron Yance and Sar Zucci along with you. Sar, how's the semester going so far?
Good, not too bad. We're past midterms, so things starting to, I guess, pick up again in the second half of the semester, but we got just a little bit over a month left.
Number 13,
And will you be graduating finally now in your 8th year on campus?
I will in May.
Congratulations. Jagoda, ground ball to third. Quick play, and it's an out at first base. Nice play by Cicchetti. Nicole, the third baseman, over to Maddie Hand, and gets the speedy Kella Jagoda for out number 1.
Yeah, it's big. The top of this lineup for the Spartans, very strong when you look at hitting Jagoda in terms of batting numbers, and then all the way down through those top 4 or 5 hitters. So if NYU can get the side out this first and second inning, that'll be a big step up for their pitching.
Now stepping to the plate for the Spartans, Karen Potts. Potts, a first-year player, and NYU is going to talk about it. Potts is a great story. She is a teenage ninja national superstar. Have you seen the video of her competing in the ninja competition?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, she's outstanding. 5'11", hand strength, upper body strength to get her through those national competitions. And I was talking to Coach Henry a little bit pregame, and Karen's still doing it, even though she's still, you know, an athlete now on campus at Case as a softball player, not competing, and she bangs a base hit between short and third for her first pitch single.
And Ron, you mentioned her phenomenal first year here for the Spartans. She's now, including today, recorded a hit in all but 1 games. This is 18. She's hit 17 games rather with a hit.
Yeah, the first 15, she was 15 for 15.
That's right. The only game she didn't have a hit was down in Muskingum last weekend.
So Potts is on at first. And up to the plate is the veteran, Kai Gross. It seems Kai has been on campus as long as you, Sar.
She is in my year, in fact.
Gross, the left-handed hitter. shortstop in her entire career here at Case Western, but with Potts coming in this year, they put Potts at short and they moved Kai Gross over to second base, and they expect her to be an All-American at second.
And she's replacing last year's UAA.
All-American.
Yeah, and a position player of the year as well in the conference in Amanda Riley.
One ball, no strikes to Kai Gross. Kai on the year, hitting .382. Potts, the only player with a better batting average. She's on first, she's stealing, and the throw down is late. And Karen Potts has her 11th stolen base in 13 tries.
This is a team that was very good at stealing bases last year. They were 138 stolen bases in 161 attempts.
That is real good.
That's astounding. And includes Kylie Gross, who was perfect in that category. She was 32 for 32, so if she gets on base.
Gross ground ball, second out of the inning at first, and moving to third is Potts, and she'll be there with 2 outs. So Kai Gross grounds out 4-3. That's her counterpart, Margot Lesser, over to Maddie Hand for the second out of the inning. So 138 of 161 stolen bases. And Fast Eddie Karakis is sitting next to you. He is a math wizard. I think he teaches all of the advanced math classes here at Case Western, so maybe he could give us the percentage pretty quickly on what that is, 138, 161.
It's 86%.
He knew it already. He's got a smile on his face. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Potts is on at third. Cleanup hitter at the plate, and that's a swing and a miss from Stevie Rieger. Stevie Rieger, the left fielder. Rieger on the year, 49 at bats, 18 hits. She's hitting .367. Low and outside. That's a tough 0-2 pitch to take. Good location if you're Emily Stone, and a tough one to look at if you're Stevie Rieger. Here's the 1-2 offering. And a swing in the dirt, a play at first, and that will wrap up the inning. So Lizzie Smith goes down to Maddie Hand on the swing and the miss, and it's 3 outs for the Spartans. They leave a runner at third. We head to the top of the second. Game is scoreless. Sorry, I got a chance to walk the lagoon, Wade Lagoon, at the Art Museum today before I came over to campus. Have you been there yet this spring?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful right now. If you are in northeastern Ohio, or if your student is or if your child is a student on campus here right now, that is the place to be. The lagoon at Wade Oval by the Cleveland Art Museum, right across the street from Severance Hall, just down the street from Mather Park. Spring blossoms are out. Top of the second inning, Lizzie Smith at the plate for the New York University Violets. And the 1-0 offering is high and outside. It's ball 2. If there's anything that Lexi Miskey is challenged by, it's her control sometimes.
Yeah, and you think with a rise ball pitcher, you got to have some sort of discipline to keep it down, especially when she gets hot. She thinks she can kind of throw it anywhere sometimes, and that's just a tendency you see from those types of pitchers. So if she can get a little bit more consistent there, she'll regularly be striking out 8 to 10 batters per game, and she's already approaching those numbers as it is.
So Lizzie Smith, who in 43 at-bats has walked only twice, is 1 ball away from her 3rd walk, and there it is. So Smith, the catcher, hitting just .209, will open the inning with a free pass.
Now batting, number 12, Madison Hand.
Maddie Hand comes to the plate for NYU, the first baseman for the Violets. Maddie on the season hitting .244. Squares to bunt, and that's fouled off. NYU on the year, 5 wins, 9 losses. They have actually had a home weekend at NYU already. They're 1-1. Bet it was a cold one.
Sure is, and that's why a lot of these UAA teams head down south for those first couple games. So it's a different environment, really, for especially the Spartans who haven't played up in a cold environment at any point so far this season.
Nice throw behind the runner by Ham. Caitlin Ham over to Kai Gross covering. Yeah, every game that Case Western has played, 17, have been somewhere other than this ball field.
That's right.
1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Top of the 2nd. And that's a fly ball, straight away center, right into the sun. Second baseman Gross will catch it. That's a tough one. I mean, this game started at 2 o'clock, and, the sun's pretty high in the sky still. And both Gross and Jagoda went back to get it. And for Kai Gross, that's a tough play, going back over your shoulder, looking into the sun. It's a big out. One down, Mia Lemon. At the plate, the left fielder for the Violets. Runner at first is Lizzie Smith. And that's a strike. Miskey in her junior season, she has been exceptional in the circle for head coach Josie Henry. A year ago, this team won 38 games, matched the all-time win total in the history of the program that was set in 2018 when they made it to the Super Regional. Or actually in 2018, they made it all the way to the NCAA Championships. They finished 5th. 2 years ago, made it to the Super Regional. Last year, another trip to the NCAA that ended early. It ended right here on this field.
And this is a team that's still looking to bounce back from that because they felt like they should have gone a lot further, and they feel like they're still capable of doing that here this year.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And that's a line drive to the shortstop, Potts, that went off her glove, and everybody's going to be safe.
And that would have been a tough play for Potts to make, but this is a chance now. We've seen this Spartan team turn a couple double plays in key situations, and they've got to do something right now and get these runners cleared off the bases.
So runners at first and second. Lizzie Smith's on at second. Mia Lemon with the second base hit of the game so far for the Violets is on at first, and this is Carolyn Hoffman at the plate. 1 out. Miskey's first offering is high and outside. Hoffman on the season is hitting .333, but she has done it in just 9 plate appearances. Played in only 5 games, has started in 4 of them, and has 3 hits. And that's ball 2.
And this is where consistency has to be at the forefront of Miskey's mind. 3 strikeouts in the first inning, and right now in a tough jam with runners on first and second and a 2-0 count.
Hitters count. Here comes the pitch, and it's right down the middle of the plate. It's interesting. And maybe it's because she has only 9 plate appearances, but with runners in scoring position early in the game like this, in a 2-0 count with a pitcher who's struggling in this inning, you almost want to give your hitter the green light because you know you're going to get a good pitch. She took it, and now it's 3-1. So Miskie's 1 pitch away from loading the bases. Hoffman's at the plate. Nicole Cicchetti, the number 9 hitter in the NYU lineup, is next. And that's a swing and a miss. Count is now full.
And she would love to get a strikeout here, going from a 3-1 count and getting out of this.
Key pitch. Miskie's ready. Here it comes. And that's high and outside. The bases are loaded.
I have a feeling the wires are bad.
So Caitlin Lamb out to talk to her pitcher. Bella Russo near the circle. And Josie Henry will join the party on the mound. So Henry's going to come in. The entire right side of the infield will join them. Now the entire team's coming in.
Yeah, especially early in this UAA schedule against a team that you've had a lot of success with. This is a smart move by Coach Henry. Get the team settled down and get them going in a direction that's a lot more favorable. You don't want to fall behind right now and have to play catch-up.
In the first inning, Miskey faced 4 batters, struck out 3. Here in the second, she has faced 4 and walked 2 and given up a hit. So it is a complete
Now batting, number 2.
opposite
Cicchetti.
of the first inning. This is Cicchetti. She's the number 9 hitter in the NYU lineup, and she is their third baseman. Bases are full of violets. Corner infielders are in for Case Western. Miskey was the first offering, and it's high and outside. Lexi missing a lot high and outside right now in this second inning.
Yeah, that's what you talked about at the beginning of this inning, Ron, that she's got to just keep some control of these pitches. She kind of has a sense of where that strike zone is going to be now today. She's not going to be able to stretch it as much as she probably would have liked to, so she's got to get back to what was working in the first.
But right back to the third baseman and a real nice play. No, they're going to say Lamb was off the plate. Barry made a real nice shovel to Caitlin Lamb, and the home plate umpire said she left the plate early.
That's a run, not a hit. Not a hit? I think you could go infield hit on that. Oh, okay. They should have 2 hits now. That was a hit.
They had one in the first, then they had
So the
Oh, wait, 3 then.
third baseman makes the fielder's choice to come home. And the play at the plate looked like an out, called safe because the home plate umpire said Caitlin Lamb left early.
Escape. Here, in this. Escape. Yep. Options.
It's still an ongoing conversation. See, Coach Henry came out, and they're going to dust off that plate.
Auto save between innings. Go A. Change that from a wide in A. See if it
So 1 run is in.
Now batting,
1 out
number 11,
on the scoreboard.
Lesser.
The number 1 hitter at the plate
if you
in Margot Lesser.
through. It's just a matter
Lesser in her first at bat struck out swinging in that dominating first inning by Lexi Miskey. Josie Henry's not warming up. Josie Henry's, I always confuse Kylie Hosey with Coach Henry for some reason. The names, Kylie Hosey, Josie Henry, I have no idea why. But Kylie Hosey is now starting to get a little bit warmed up in the batting cage area on the first base sideline. Miskey, the 0-1 pitch, inside for strike 2.
0-2.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top half of the second inning here at Mather Park. Game 1 of the University Athletic Association season for the Spartans. Miskie's 0-2 pitch, pop fly, center field. Tagging at third, catching, throw to the plate. It's going to be close. And safe at home plate is Mia Lemon. So it's a sacrifice fly for Margot Lesser. She gets a run batted in on the second out of the inning. That was Lemon that tagged and scored at third.
Now batting, number 16, Claire Carson.
2 runs in on 1 hit, 2 walks and a fielder's choice, and a sacrifice fly. That is an inning of manufactured runs. Carson, the left-handed slap hitter at the plate. She struck out swinging her first time up. Claire on the year with 9 hits, and all of them but 1 are singles.
Yeah, but a single here might send 2 more runs home. So if you're on the Spartan side, if you're Lexi Miskey, you have to think, I can't let this ball make contact. I've got to get a strikeout here.
Well, especially with 2 outs, that single's going to score 2 because that runner at second's not holding for anything.
That's right.
She is off on contact.
I don't think you can call an error on that for being off. It's not an error. Throw is good, just beat it out.
Throw down to third, and they got her out. So Potts sneaking in from her shortstop spot behind Carolyn Hoffman. And Lamb to Potts, and that's the 3rd out of the inning, and that's a huge out. Got Miskey out of a jam. The Violets score 2, though. They scored 2 on 1 hit. They walked twice. They got a fielder's choice. They got a sac fly. And the Violets head to the bottom half of the second here at Mather Park with a 2-0 lead.
Being weird, John, but I think that's a today. It's not.
Bottom half of the second, Josie Henry, the leader of this Case Western Reserve University Spartans women's softball program, making her way out to her third base coaching box.
Leading off the bottom of the
Spartans
second,
down 2.
Warrior Spartans, number
Down 2 to the
25,
5-9 Violets.
Davis.
And the first offering is right down the middle of the plate, but they'll say it's low for ball 1. Our umpires today, Dominic Gainey, Trey Gallardo, and Kathy Graff. Elena Steffes at the plate for the Spartans. That's low, ball 2.
And Steffes has been another one of those talented first-year players, just making her 5th start so far on the season, but she's hitting .389 when she's come to the plate.
Steffes with 7 hits this year. 4 of the 7 are doubles. And 1's a triple. So 5 of her 7 hits are for extra bases.
Yeah, even in the last game against Worcester, a 2 RBI double in the 5th inning. They need a spark from her right now.
They might beat Wayne State. It's 3-0. I don't think they're going to beat
3-0 pitch is taken for strike 1.
Okay. See you later.
Off-speed pitch for strike 2. Emily Stone with some emotion on the mound, battling back from a 3-0 start. Stone on the year has made just one appearance coming into today. This is only her second time in the circle for NYU. In that one appearance, she threw 2 innings, gave up 1 run, it was earned. She walked 2, struck out nobody, and didn't give up a hit. Steffes, fly ball left field, deep. Back to the warning track, and it hits the track up against the fence, and the power continues for Steffes. That's her 8th hit.
Yeah, another double as well. She's been a
it's her 5th double.
extra base hit machine so far.
That's the way to start an inning when you're down 2-0. And that's going to bring Biz Berry to the plate.
Now batting, number 6, Biz Berry.
Biz Berry from Plymouth, Minnesota. In Plymouth, Minnesota in late March, I guarantee you it's not in the mid-40s. This is probably like a Bahamas-style day for Biz Berry. Steffes is on at second with her 5th double of the year. Berry's at the plate. And Steffes will go to third on the pass ball. At high pitch by Stone, handcuffed Lizzie Smith, and the Spartans have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. 2-0, bottom half of the second. NYU, the Violets, with the 2-run lead. Ground ball to short. Play will be at the plate, and the throw's high. Everybody's safe. Boy, that ball just sailed. As soon as Lindsey Barron let it go, you knew it was nowhere near her catcher.
Yeah, and it was the right idea with Steffes taking off there.
Steffes is out. That's
Yeah.
a good throw. And it's not even close.
And it's an interesting decision to see Steffes even make that run home before she knew where Barron was going with that throw. And I'm not sure if that's something that Coach Henry over at third told her to do, but he sure got the benefit of that wild throw.
So Caitlin Lamb will come to the plate, shows bunts it, moves Berry to second, and the Spartans with the tying run now at second base.
That's another thing that throw by Barron allows you to do with no outs. You're willing to take a bunt and just move your runner forward. When you have 1 out, now you go to 2 outs with a runner on second is maybe not the most ideal position, so maybe that affects the strategy there if you can get that play at home.
Number 11, Bella
Absolutely.
Russo.
100%, Sar, I agree. So Josie Henry looks down at her runner at second, and she's got Bella Russo at the plate. Ball is loose, and that's enough for Biz Berry to get down to third. Lizzie Smith struggling a little bit behind the plate this inning.
Yeah, and NYU certainly got to tighten up in terms of fielding. The Spartan team is too good running the bases to give them extra opportunities.
Russo on the year hitting .286. Ground ball, shortstop, or second baseman rather. That's the second out of the inning. And it scores a run, ties the game. So Biz Berry scores on the 4-3 out by Bella Russo. So Bella gets an RBI. Game's tied at 2. Bases are clean, and Nyla Durham, the number 9 hitter, is up to the plate.
Now batting, number 33, Nyla Durham.
Durham, a first-year player from Hoban High School in Akron. Hoban Knights, known for their football program. In Division II in the state of Ohio, they have They are a consistent team in the conversation for a state championship. 1-0 pitch, fouled back. 2 games here today from Mather Park. It was supposed to be a single game on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and then 1 on Easter Sunday, but weather tomorrow is calling for rain, maybe at times lots of it. So NYU said that they could get here early enough that they could start this game an hour early. So instead of a 2 o'clock, or rather a 3 o'clock one game, they went at 2, and they're going to get 2 games in. That's a foul ball. Counts now at 1 and 2. Today, it's absolutely beautiful. And this field can take a lot of weather. We have all stood here in this press box or in a dugout or in the stands and watched it just rain. And then 30, 40 minutes later, they are playing softball again. Good at bat for Nyla Durham. Her and Emily Stone locked in a little battle right now with 2 outs in the second inning. 2 strikes, 2 outs, second inning. Game's tied at 2. Vin Scully would say deuces are wild, Sar. Now, my next question to my young broadcast partner is, do you know who Vin Scully is?
I do.
Okay.
Because of you, actually.
Vin Scully, the Hall of Fame broadcaster, and that is a hit by pitch. Durham took it on the hands, and she's going to go down to first base. So with 2 outs, Spartans are at the top of the lineup. So Scully started in Brooklyn with the Dodgers. He took over for Red Barber, and this is a long time ago. And then moved to Los Angeles with the Brooklyn Dodgers, who then became the Los Angeles Dodgers, and became while he was in Brooklyn, became the voice of baseball. And then when he moved to L.A., it amped up even more because of the media market that he was in. And I don't know how many years Vin worked as a play-by-play guy, but it was a long time. And he certainly is a legend. Deuces are wild, many other things that he would say.
Now batting, number 13, Kella Jagoda.
So, Sar, when you're at your parties on campus, you can impress people with that great knowledge. Stolen base attempt. Down and safe at second base is Nyla Durham. So Durham, the first year, is electric on the bases right now. She's at second with 2 outs for her teammate and her leadoff hitter, Kella Jagoda.
And she's now 6 for 6 on the year, stealing bases as well. Fits right into this team. They are not hesitant at all to do it. So far on the year, 44 of 51 entering today. They've already got 2. They're 2 of 2 today.
Spartans trying to add their 3rd run of the inning. NYU scored 2 in the top half of this inning.
Oh, it's 0-1. 0-1.
Case Western has answered with 2 in the bottom half. They're looking for their 3rd on an 0-1 pitch. A nice stop by Lizzie Smith. Counts even at 1. Emily Stone on the mound, 3.50 earned run average this year. Has just thrown 2 innings coming into this game. The 2 workhorse pitchers for NYU, Carly Cleaver, simple ground ball back to the mound, and that will wrap up the inning. But it was a good one. Spartans score 2, and we go to the top half of the 3rd. Game's tied at 2.
Claire Carson.
Top of the third here from Mather Park. Claire Carson is back at the plate where she was at the top half of the second when the Spartans ended the inning with an out at home plate. Carson will drop down a bunt with speed out of the left-handed batter's box, and she is out at first base. Nice play defensively by the Spartans to get Carson out of the left side of that batter's box. Lindsey Barron will now come to the plate. Barron on the year, 16 hits, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 1 home run. So she's got 10 of her 16 hits are extra base hits. And she's the number 1 hitter on this NYU team. Had a base hit in the first inning. Right back up the middle.
And this is a big at-bat for the Spartans defensively. If Miskey can get Barron out here, she's the one who kick-started that hot second inning for them. So she wants to get him out and kill all the momentum they built up.
Barron from Matawan, New Jersey. Counts now 1-2. She's a grad student. She was at Monmouth University before spending her grad year here at NYU, and that is another solid single to center field. Kella Jagoda with a late break tried to make a diving catch, but that's another single for the number 1 hitter on the Violets softball team. Sorry, she makes it look easy.
Sure does, and 2 for 2 is very important.
Both ripped,
for her.
too.
Yeah. And tough plays in center field, just right where that center fielder Jagoda couldn't get to him, and that's going to have some sort of effect on Miskey if you have a batter that you just can't get out.
That's inside the bag. That's a base hit. Barron is going to round and head all the way over to third base. So she'll go from first to third on the single to right by Alyssa Quarry. Corey got just enough of the bat on almost a check swing. She got the barrel of it on the ball, and it was a quick hit right past Bellarusso at first base. So first and third, 1 out. The catcher, Lizzie Smith, is at the plate. Corey's on at first base, and on the year, she's attempted only 1 stolen base. She's 1 of 1. She'll run on the first pitch, and it's a play set up for the Spartans to see if the Violets were caught napping. They weren't. So now you have runners at second and third with 1 out. Fly ball, center field. Jacoda will catch it. And that's an easy sacrifice fly for the third run of the game for the NYU Violets. So Lizzie Smith does her job, puts the ball in play, and puts it in a spot where she can get a run in. And it's 3-2 NYU.
Now batting, number 12, Madison Hand.
Maddie Hand comes to the plate. Maddie popped up to the second baseman in her first time up. Another pop up, this one deeper. Right field, and calling for it and catching it is Nyla Durham, and that wraps up the inning. But the Violets get another run, and they go back on top. They are up 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the third. Bottom half of the third here from Mather Park. We are on the campus of Case Western Reserve University, and the Spartans are so blessed to have a complex like this to play softball on. It is absolutely beautiful. No matter the season, tucked in a little neighborhood here, just outside of campus. Baseball field and football stadium not far away. Cleveland Art Museum just about a 2-block walk. 2 balls, no strikes. It's Emily Stone on the mound for the Violets. And Karen Potts at the plate. Potts with that off-speed pitch fouls it off. Potts in her first at bat had a base hit between the shortstop and the third baseman. It went into left field. She got all the way to third on a stolen base to second and was stranded at third base in the first inning. Spartans down 3-2. 5 hits on the board for NYU, 2 for Case Western. Rolls over her wrist, and that's a foul ball. Counts even at 2. Potts from North Potomac, Maryland. So far in this young season, actually it's a young season for Karen because it's her first year, but they've already played 17 games, so I guess it's not young game-wise. She had a 3-hit game against Catholic 2 weeks ago. And she knocked in 3 runs against Rowan on March 10th. So she's had a big March. In the 17 games, 7 times she has hit a double. Sar pointed out in the first 15 games she had a base hit in every game. And there's another. 2 for 2 on the afternoon for Karen Potts.
Yeah, it's really good placement by Potts there. You can see where Lester was standing. It's just out of her reach. And Potts did just enough. Yeah, you mentioned Ron, 2 for 2, and she's just been electric for this Spartans team, this lineup. Hitting .383 coming into this one. You can almost count on her to get on base seemingly every time she's at the plate.
Kai Gross. Fly ball left field. Trouble, but bringing it in, and Mia Lemon securing the first out of the inning. Boy, for a moment, I thought she was going to lose it in the sky.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, too. This sun is practically straight overhead still, and from left field, looking at a fly ball, you're staring straight into it.
Stevie Rieger to the plate. Stevie struck out swinging in her first at bat. Rieger, the senior. And there goes Potts again, and that's her second stolen base of the afternoon. So Potts 2 of 2 today. And Sar, she leads this team in stolen bases. She is 12 of 14 on the season.
That's right. Coming into this one, 10 stolen bases, and she's been such a great addition to this lineup and fits right in with the style of play that this team likes.
Rieger a year ago started in the outfield in 39 of the 43 games played. That's a ground ball to shortstop, and that's the second out of the inning. Lindsey Barron did a real nice job with Potts in front of her on that ground ball. Got the out to first. Two down, runner at third. Potts ended the first inning stranded at third. She would like to change that here in the third. Elena Steffes is at the plate, and Elena hit a double to the wall over the left fielder's head in the second inning. Led off that second inning. It was a 2-run second inning. Spartans would love to see her get another base hit here and tie this game up. 2 balls, no strikes. You got a hitter who always hits extra base hits here. Do you give her the green light on a 2-0 pitch?
I would if I'm Coach Henry, and she's going to take it. So
She could have gotten the green light. The green light could come with a caveat, meaning pitch
right.
that you like. And maybe Elena doesn't like a high and outside pitch. Now it's 3-0.
And especially already getting a double in the first at-bat for Steffes, I would go for it here, but
So the walk puts runners at first and third, and the pass ball is not a problem. That's the situation. If you're the runner at third, you're either off when it happens, or if you hesitate, you just don't go, because a hesitation will lead to an out.
Now batting, number 6 is Barry.
Barry's at the plate. Steffes is at first. And Potts is on third. We've got 2 outs, bottom half of the third. Spartans down a run. Catcher's indifference. There was no coverage at second base, so
yeah, and for a team that's that good in that category, you can't give them just a free opening like that. If you're at this NYU defense, you want to try and take those away as much as possible, and that was just too easy.
So this is Barry. If she gets a base hit now with 2 outs, she'll score 2. Ground ball past the shortstop into center field. Rounding second and scoring. And the Spartans get 2 runs on the Barry 2-out single. That's Steffes and Potts who scored. And Biz Barry with a real big 2-out base hit.
Now batting, number 2, Caitlin Lamb.
4-3 Spartans. That is strike 1 to Caitlin Lamb. Lamb, the catcher. Oh for 1 today. She had a sacrifice in her last at bat, moving a runner. Fly ball, shallow right field. Hoffman in, and catching it is the Violets defense. We head to the top half of the 4th. Spartans score 2, and they take the lead. They're up 4-3.
Number 8, Mia Lemon.
We head to the top half of the 4th here from Mather Park. Spartans with their first lead of the afternoon. They're up 4-3. They've scored 2 in the second and 2 in the third. Miskey on the mound. Lexi working in her 15th appearance on the season. The Spartans have played, this is now their 18th game. They are 15-2. And this is their first game at home this year. ranked 7th in the country right now. Trine University, who just won the men's basketball Division III national championship, the Trine softball team, they're ranked number 1 in the country. And they got all the first place votes. They are 20-1.
And the Spartan team, very familiar with them from a couple years ago. They went over to Trine for the Super Regionals and were defeated. That was back in 2022.
1 ball, 2 strikes. This is Mia Lemon at the plate. She had a base hit to shortstop in her first at bat, hit a line drive that Potts dove forward, couldn't quite get. This is a ground ball to third. That's Biz Berry, the talented third baseman for the Spartans, up and over to Russo, and that's the first out of the inning, 5-3. Sorry, you look at the national rankings right now. Top 10, Trine number 1, Salisbury 2, Linfield 3, East Texas Baptist is 4, Christopher Newport 5, Barry out of Georgia 6th, and the Spartans at 7th, Bellhaven 8th, Randolph-Macon 9th, and Bethel out of Minnesota. That's your top 10 in Division III softball right now as we head into most teams approaching 20 games already in this season.
Yeah, and I think the Spartans would have played a couple more of those teams, Linfield, Bellhaven as well. They had some weather issues when they were down south, and I think they would have loved to have those games against some of those top 10 teams. They already got a chance to play East Texas Baptist, and it's one of their 2 losses this year.
East Texas Baptist is 17-1 going into this weekend. Counts even. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And that is inside the hands of Carolyn Hoffman, and the right fielder fights it off. Hoffman in her first at bat walked, got all the way to second, was stranded there in the second inning. Check swing. Did she go? And they say she did not. So the count will even at 2. Miskey had 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Struggled in the second, gave up 2 runs. Struggled a little bit in the third, gave up another run. And is 1 strike away from getting 2 outs with the first 2 batters here in the fourth.
And this is where she wants to get back on track again here earlier in this inning. She can start getting those strikeout numbers back up high. She'll regain her confidence, and that'll settle her right back into the circle.
A year ago, this Spartan team, was 38-5. 38 wins in 43 games. They were 17-2. In UAA play. And that's strike 3. So Hoffman is down swinging. That is the 4th strikeout in the 4th inning for Lexi Miskey. Nicole Cicchetti will bat for the Violets. Cicchetti, the number 9 hitter in the NYU lineup. Miskey in her career, it's her 3rd year. She's a junior. In her first year, she was the UAA Rookie of the Year. She was also the NCAA Regional Most Outstanding Player. She made the All-Regional team. And then a year ago, in her sophomore year, she was 2nd team All-American, 1st team All-Region, UAA Pitcher of the Year. She was Pitcher of the Year in both her freshman year, or her first year, and her sophomore year. And she was 1st team All-UAA in both of those seasons as well. So there is a lot of talent in the circle for the Spartans.
Yeah, you look at Miskey and then Kylie Hosey, you mentioned earlier, their other pitcher was a 2nd team UAA selection a year ago too. So this is a very tough team to bat against. 2
balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Miskey facing Nicole Cicchetti. And that's strike three. It's called. And we head to the bottom half of the fourth. Miskey throwing a shutout in the fourth inning. Her team's up a run. It's 4-3 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. This is Bella Russo at the plate as we start the bottom half of the fourth inning here from Mather Park. Emily Stone on the mound for NYU. Russo at the plate. Bella had a ground ball to second, run batted in the two-run second inning. And she takes low and inside for ball two. Russo has been a great player, a consistent player for Coach Henry in her seasons here at Case Western Reserve University. They plug her in at first base, and they just let her do her job. Third year for the Spartans. In the 3 years that Bella Russo has been a part of this softball program, the team has gone 27-9 in her first year, 30-12 in her second year, and 38-5 a year ago. Now, a lot of players involved in a lot of that success, and Russo is one of them as she takes ball four for a walk. That brings up Nyla Durham, the right fielder.
Now batting, number 30.
Durham was hit by a pitch, hit right on the hands in her first at bat. Nyla on the year, 27 at bats, just 4 hits so far. That's a sacrifice bunt, and that'll set up the runner at second. The throwback almost got Bella Russo. So Durham does what she's been asked to do, and that's sacrifice her teammate over. Russo's on at second for Kella Jagoda in the top of the lineup for the Spartans.
Now batting, number 13, Kella Jagoda.
Jagoda, a senior. Ground ball to short. Nice play. And there are 2 outs in the inning. So Kella Jagoda still looking for that first hit today. 3 at-bats, 3 ground balls, all in the infield.
Now batting,
Karen Potts at the plate.
Karen Potts.
Potts is 2 for 2.
And this is the situation the Spartans had in the last inning. They turned 2 runs off of it with a runner on third and 2 outs.
Lazy fly ball down the left field line, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So the Spartans get the leadoff hitter on, and they strand her at second base, or third base rather. We head to the top half of the 5th. It's 4 for Case Western, 3 for the Violets of NYU.
Wow.
5 hits for the NYU Violets as we head into the 5th inning. They had 1 hit in the 1st inning, 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and they were held hitless in the 4th inning. They'll start this 5th at the top of the order. Margot Lesser will come to the plate. Lesser 0 for 1 officially on the afternoon. She's had 2 at-bats. She had a sac fly to center field that scored a run in the 2nd, and she struck out in her 1st at-bat. Miskey with 5 strikeouts. Alexi's walked 2 batters and has given up 5 hits. NYU with 5 wins coming into this game today. The Spartans with 17. If you look at what Case Western has done specifically in the University Athletic Association, back-to-back champions last year and the year before. Then, of course, in the 2020 spring, season was canceled due to COVID. The 2021 spring, there were no conference games played due to COVID. So in the opportunities that they've had in the last 2 of 4 years, they have done as well as they possibly can. And sorry, there's no reason to expect or anything less than a championship again this year.
That's right. They've won the last 2, and you talked about their national ranking and how they've performed in the national tournaments the last 2 seasons. This is a team coming into this year that expects a UAA championship, and they expect to go to the super regionals in the tournament, something they were unable to do last year. They lost here at home, and they still feel like that was a disappointing end to the year, but they feel like they've got a lot of new talent, a lot of young talent, and this is a team that can continue to grow even over the course of not just this year, but into the next couple of years as well.
So working a first at-bat walk here in the top half of the 5th is Lesser. Margot took Miskey deep into that count.
Now batting, number 16, Claire Carson.
And Claire Carson now comes to the plate. Carson 0 for 2. Struck out in the 1st inning swinging and grounded out to 3rd in the 3rd. We're now in the 5th. Lesser looks like she's ready to go at first base. It's a foul ball. Everybody's coming back. Carson, a grad student. She's from Georgia. She played at Appalachian State for 3 seasons. 41 career games there at Appalachian State before spending her grad season here at NYU. So Lesser's down at first base like a sprinter, ready to take off in the 100-meter dash. Carson bunts it. Lesser goes to second, looks at third. The out's at first. Lesser holds at second. And the Violets get what they want. That brings Lindsey Barron to the plate. And I say they get what they want, Sar, because they get a runner in scoring position with their best hitter at the plate who's already 2 for 2.
Right, and that's the goal with that bunt, and Barron has had her way so far. She's hit 2 slicing balls down into center field, so that's likely where she wants to go once again. I don't see why she wouldn't, because that would send a runner home here. I think the Spartans are going to talk about how they want to approach this as well.
Now batting, number 00, Lindsey Barron.
Barron 2 hits. She scored a run. Both of her hits to center field. One was a hard ground ball up the middle in the 1st inning. The 2nd hit was a smoke shot. A line drive that Jagoda tried to dive and catch and just fell short of. First pitch from Miskey. And there's another base hit. Double. This will be extra bases. It's going to score 2. Play at third, and out at third for the second out of the inning is Lindsey Barron. So it's a nice relay from Durham. The line drive went over at Nyla's head. It went all the way to the wall. And they get the relay in. They get Barron at third, but not before the damage is done. Lindsey Barron, 3 for 3, a double, and 2 runs batted in.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a run. Hit away again. Hit it again.
I said 2 runs batted in. It was 1 run batted in. Got ahead of myself. That's good news for the Spartans that I got ahead of myself.
Yeah, it's a tie game, and they need to get out of this inning because every time Barron has been up, it's been tough for the Spartans. So, imagine she's going to come up 1, maybe 2 more times in these 7 innings, and they've got to do something different with her.
Game's tied at 4. 10 hits total, 8 runs. Violets with 6 of the 10. And that's a swing and a miss from the cleanup hitter, Alyssa Corey. Corey 0 for 2 today.
I think, too, Lexi Miskey getting a little bit up there in the pitch count. That was number 72 on the day. So seeing how much more Coach Henry is going to let her play, especially knowing that there's 4 games this weekend.
2 today. This is the first of 2. A scheduled game on Saturday. Be watching the weather for that one, and then 1 on Sunday. Counts full. 2 outs. Game's tied at 4. We're in the top half of the 5th in a very slow moving game 1. Ground ball to Potts. Handcuffed her a bit, but that's the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. Tied at 4. We'll be back. We've spent a lot of time talking about the play of Lindsey Barron at the plate, and rightfully so, but in the meantime, her teammate Emily Stone is pitching a real good game against a Spartan offense that is real good themselves. She's given up only 4 hits in 4 innings.
Yeah, and on top of that, out of the 4 runs, just 2 earned runs. Had a couple of wild plays, a passed ball that certainly have helped the Spartans advance. A strikeout and 2 walks, so moderate stats for her, but certainly, as you mentioned, this is a high-powered offense and a team that, when they get going, they get hot really quick, and Stone, in the 2nd and 3rd inning, kept them at just 2 apiece and has done just enough to keep them in this game.
Stone coming into this season, and as I said earlier, this is only her 2nd appearance on the season, but coming into this year, a year ago, she pitched in 12 games. 9 of those, she was a starter. And she finished 2nd on the team with wins last year. So she has been a pitcher for this Violets team that has been successful and relied on. And I don't know the backstory on her this year. Maybe she's coming back from an early injury. But this is just her 2nd appearance in a season that's already double digits in games.
And this will be a big inning for her, Ron. If she can get out of this one and keep this game tied heading into the sixth, NYU has started to find some things on the offensive end. So in this hardest part of the lineup, if she can get out of this without giving up any more runs, the Violets will feel like they're in a very good spot to challenge the Spartans team late in the game.
This is Kai Gross at the plate. She's ahead in the count, 2-0. Gross looking for her first hit of the afternoon. Ground out and a fly out. That is a deep ball, right center field, and nobody's going to get that one. Kai Gross with a smoke shot just under the scoreboard in right center field. Boy, it looked like she knew what was coming. Wow, she hit that hard.
That's a big play for the Spartans. Puts them on top. The solo shot from Kylie Gross, and that's a huge play in this situation. And she's a player you mentioned, Ron. She's a veteran in this lineup, and when you need a big hit, she's delivered the last 3 seasons, and this is no different here today.
Her mom and dad are sitting right in front of us here. They're behind home plate in the bleacher section of. Actually, you could say they're in the box seat area of Mather Park, and they're here at every game. I enjoy seeing her mom and dad. Her mom's got a hoodie on plus a stocking cap, and they're in the shade of the press box right now, so can't be warm for them, but that one warmed them up, that's for sure. So it's 5-4, Spartans over the Violets. Stevie Rieger is going to step foot in the batter's box. Coach Henry working her way back down to her third base box. This is Josie's 14th year. She has over 300 wins. They have been extremely successful in the tenure of Josie Henry, this Spartan softball program. Base hit. Rieger with a solid shot. Sorry, the first 2 batters of this inning have really locked in on the pitches from Emily Stone.
Yeah, they have, and we were just talking about how good of a game she's had, but, you know, when you get to this third round of the lineup, a lot of times players have a different sort of vision when they come out to the plate. They kind of know what to expect, and they know what the pitcher likes to throw against them, especially 2 players who hadn't had a hit earlier in this game.
Elena Steffes with an off-speed pitch high for a ball. Steffes on the day has been up twice, been on twice, double and a walk, and she scored 2 runs. Ground ball short. Play at second, and they'll say they just got Stevie Rieger at second base.
And I don't think Rieger knew that. She was standing there. I think
Yeah.
she thought she was safe, and it was a close call.
No replay.
And she still looks like she's a bit confused heading into that dugout. I think she thought she was safe there.
Well, the play was from Barron to Lesser, and it was bang, bang. 1 out. On first on a fielder's choice is Steffes, and this is Biz Berry at the plate. Biz hitting .318 on the year. And on the afternoon, she is 1 of 2. Single to center in her last at bat. It was a single that scored 2 runs. She's got 2 of the 5 knocked in today. Stone looks over to her dugout. Gets the number from her coach. Looks at her wristband. Here's the offering. That's a base hit, right field line. And moving from first to third for the Spartans will be Steffes. So Biz Berry with a nice piece of hitting, took an outside pitch, went with it, knocked it into right field, and the Spartans with a runner in scoring position.
Still with just one out. This is where they want to be. They can really extend this lead now.
Sorry, the inning's been different. It sure has at the plate for Case Western. They have looked more comfortable with, not being fooled or off on the front foot, out of balance on any of these Emily Stone pitches. And that one's in the dirt. That's going to hit the batter. It's going to be a dead ball. Everybody's going to stay where they're at.
That may have hit Lamb.
It did. Yeah, they sent her down to first base.
Going to first.
Yep.
That's certainly not the play you want. That's going to load the bases.
So Barry's at second, Steph's at third, and Lamb's at first. And at the plate, Bellarusso. Russo, the junior. And that's a fly ball that is not caught in left field. And that's going to be a base hit and an RBI for Bellarusso. So it was awkward because it was not a sure thing. So Steffes had to kind of hold her spot at third base to see if that left fielder would indeed catch the ball. And when she didn't, Steffes came home.
Yeah, you could see her still tagging up. And while she was just, holding, as you mentioned, on that bag, the runner was coming all the way to third. They were nearly on top of each other
Yeah,
there.
Barry was almost standing right next to her.
And when you're coming from second to third, you've got a little bit more wiggle room. It's a closer run.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now batting for Case Western Reserve, number 29, Kayla Zuzai.
Kayla Zuzai will now hit for the Spartans. Zuzai wears number 29. Kayla, a first-year infielder from the Woodlands, Texas. At the plate with one out, runners at first, second, and third. Bases are loaded for Zuzai. And that's a strike on the first offering from Emily Stone.
And still with one out, Stone needs a big play right now. A double play would be huge to get NYU out of this. Keep the lead at just 2.
Zuzai on the year, 13 at bats so far. She's appeared in 9 games, and she's got a base hit. Counts even at 1.
And that only hit for Zuzai was a home run. Imagine if she had another one here.
That would be memorable for the first-year player. Swing and a miss. Sorry, she wanted a home run.
Sure was.
That was a hefty cut right there.
And we've already seen one here in this inning from Gross.
Gross got the pitch she liked and hit a no-doubter.
2-1.
Zuzai obviously liked that pitch. Locked in and did everything but just hit it. Settled in the box. Here comes the pitch from Stone, and it's low. 3 balls, 1 strike. Bases are loaded. Nowhere to put Zuzai.
And Stone's over 70 pitches as well, so you got to wonder how much, especially the way she struggled in this inning, how much more she's got left.
Another great cut. You know, the thing with, and I've been around softball for a long time, the thing with softball pitchers, they can throw all day long and come back and throw the next day. If you look at the great success of the Arizona teams over the years, and Zuzai is going to foul that one off, they'd win 40 games, 38 games, and their starting pitcher, their number 1 pitcher, would have 35 of the wins.
That's right.
It's just a different physical movement. It's just different than,
see all
say,
the
the overhand baseball pitch.
Get ice on their shoulder tonight, and he'll be good to go tomorrow.
Full count pitch again, 1 out, off speed, and it's a ball. Zuzai with a real nice at bat. And that base on balls will force in a run. So the Spartans are trying to create a little bit of breathing room here in this 5th inning.
Yeah, and with one out, the base is still loaded. They're in a perfect position to do so, as NYU will get a conversation in the circle, so maybe seeing a change here.
Just play anything then.
Two games today. This one is 7-4 Spartans. We're now in the bottom half of the 5th. The second game is scheduled to start at 4 o'clock. They'll play one tomorrow. Fast Eddie, what time's the game tomorrow?
Scheduled for noon.
Scheduled for noon. Weather is supposed to move in at some point tomorrow, so that's iffy. And then one game on Easter Sunday. That start is 11.
Well, yeah. All depends, though.
Now batting.
Schedule could change tonight, as soon as tonight. So.
Eddie said schedule could change tonight. So the weather is a definite trigger to everything that's going to ripple this weekend here in northeastern Ohio in late March. First pitch. It's low and away for ball 1. So Jagoda at the plate. She's the leadoff hitter, and Kella is looking for her first hit of the afternoon. And that is not a situation that she's used to being in. Jagoda, 345 on the season. That's strike 1. Kella in 17 games coming into today, her 18th. Has been at the plate 55 times. That's second on the team only to Karen Potts at 60. She scored 15 runs. She leads the team in runs scored. She leads the team in triples. Boy, wouldn't you love to see a bases clearing triple right now?
Yeah, well, we already saw Gross and Rieger get their first base hits in this inning, so maybe Jagoda seeing something in Emily Stone that she's a little more comfortable in now. This is her 4th time around.
Jagoda, little flare, left field. It will fall into the left fielder's mitt, and that's a double play. Lemon got the out and left, and then caught off guard at second base for the Spartans was Isabella Russo. And a opportunity has gone by the wayside. We head to the top half of the 6th. Spartans up 3 at 7-4. Okay, some movement for the lineups here in the 6th inning. The Spartans have put Elena Steffes in at right field. Steffes was the DP, and she's now playing right field for Nyla Durham. It's a big 3-run bottom half of the 5th for Case Western. to break open a 4-4 tie and hopefully give Lexi Miskey a little bit of breathing room. Miskey trying to get her 10th win of the season. She is 9-2 coming into today. 59 innings pitched. Has given up only 12 earned runs in those 59 innings for an earned run average at 1.42. Second team All-American a year ago, back-to-back University Athletic Association Pitcher of the Year awards. Miskey on the mound, definitely the straw that stirs the drink for this Spartan softball team. Ground ball, shortstop. And over to first base. And the first out of the inning.
And Potts has had a lot of those type of plays, those ground outs, and some of those throws have had to come in really quick. She's had a really nice game defensively.
Potts to Russo, that's the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 12, Madison Hand.
So Maddie Hand is at the plate. Hand 0 for 2, the first baseman. She flew out to second base in the second inning and flew out to right field to end the third. Hand's NYU Violets took a 2-0 lead in the second. And they took a 3-2 lead in the third. But they find themselves down 7-4 now in the top half of the sixth.
And Spartans responding in each of those 2 innings. Every time NYU has scored, the Spartans have fired right back.
Miskey up in the count 0-2. And that's a called strike 3. So Maddie Hand goes down via the strikeout. And for Miskey, that is her
Now batting number 8.
5th strikeout. She had 3 in the first. She had, actually it's her 6th. She had 2 in the 4th. And then this one here in the 6th inning. So 6 strikeouts for Miskey. Miskey on the year, 86 strikeouts coming into today in 59 innings. So she's got 92 and 65 right now.
And entering this one, she was averaging just under 10 strikeouts per 7 innings, so 10 per game in essence.
2 outs. The 0-1 pitch is high and outside.
Now, last year, Ron, she set actually a program record in that category as well as 207 strikeouts on the season, both program records.
This is Mia Lemon at the plate, and that's a swing and a miss. So 207 strikeouts in how many innings?
I'll get you that exact number.
I got both Fast Eddie and Saar running, and it was 150 in a third innings. She had 207 strikeouts. And there's another one. Her 7th of the day in 6 innings. She's got a smile on her face with a glove bump for her catcher, and we head to the bottom half of the 6th. It's 7-4 Spartans. I got you. So Karen Potts will step to the plate for the Spartans here in the bottom half of the sixth, and she will face a new pitcher. In the circle right now for NYU is Jessie Worthman. Worthman appearing in her 5th game this season for the Violets, her 2nd in relief. Jessie has thrown 12 1/3 innings in the 4 appearances previous to this one. In those 12 innings, Sar, she's given up 10 hits and 12 runs. She's had an active 12 innings. In 12 innings, she's given up 12 hits. She's walked 8. And the left fielder had all sorts of trouble. That was Mia Lemon, and it's going to turn into an error that goes for a triple. Well, I should wait. I'm not the official scorer. We'll have to wait till Fast Eddie Caracas tells us.
How about Potts and that speed and the heads-up play, too, to know that she had enough space to get around second? I mean, that throw was just about to come in, and she was already putting her head down, head into third.
Now, if you're the home scorer, you probably give your home player Potts a triple. Eddie's taking a look at it. Not to put any pressure on Eddie, but he said looks like a triple to him. Otto Penica, the veteran of all things athletics, with a smile on his face. He knows how home scoring goes. Back in the day at the Jacobs Field, which is, now Progressive Field, the Indians' dugout would call up to the official scorer in the press box if they didn't like how a play was scored, an error or a hit. I mean, it would come immediately. Fast Eddie doesn't have a phone next to him. Josie Henry doesn't have a phone in the press box or in the first base dugout. She's actually on the third base box right now coaching the game. So there's nobody here to call Fast Eddie Caracas to debate whether or not that was a triple for the home player. So Fast Eddie has just decided in his own infinite wisdom that that is a triple for Potts. The Potts family is very happy with you. I can tell you that, Eddie. So the walk to Gross puts runners at first and third, and you can bet your bottom dollar Kai's going to steal second here in a heartbeat.
Now batting, number 20, Stevie Rieger.
This is Stevie Rieger at the plate. Rieger 1 for 3 on the afternoon. And there goes Gross. And here comes Potts. That's a pass ball. Potts will walk in for the 8th run of the game.
And you wonder if they've got eyes up on second, and for Lizzie Smith, if that's part of that, you maybe just thinking about throwing that ball before you catch it clean.
So the game has broken open here in the last 2 innings. It was 4-4 heading into the bottom of the 5th, and now here in the bottom of the 6th with nobody out, it's 8-4. The funny thing about the official scoring story that I was saying is the head coach of the Kent State baseball team was the official scorer at the time, and this is a guy who had great success as a manager at Kent State. The Golden Flashes were regulars in the NCAA tournament, so this is someone who knew baseball. But it didn't matter to Mike Hargrove and the coaching staff in those days of the Indians, that great era in the 90s. So another walk. The inning has not started kindly for Jessie Worthman. A maybe triple, maybe error, ball to left field, and then 2 walks.
Yeah, and Elena Steffes has had another good game. She's 1 for 2 and a walk as well. And if she gets on base here with no outs, potentially even sending a run home with a base hit as well. It's a tough situation for NYU, and the Spartans are continuing to put pressure on this lead to just blow wide open.
Off-speed pitch, low, it's ball 1. And that's a strike. Elena Steffes has been on base every time she's been up. That's 3. Double walk and a fielder's choice. Counts now 1-2. Nobody out. Bottom half of the 6th. Spartans up 4. It's 8-4. They were down 2-0 in the second inning. Soft ground ball, forced play at third, and that's all that the Violets are going to get. But they get the lead runner, and that's the most important runner to get. So Gross is out at third, unassisted by the third baseman, Cicchetti. And that's the first out of the inning.
Now batting, number 6, Biz Berry.
Steffes is on again, though.
That's right, and Biz Berry's also been on seemingly every time she's been up today, too. And those two have been a huge spark for this offense today, and a big part of why they've got an 8-4 lead.
Well, not only seemingly, Sar.
She has.
In reality, she has. She's been up 3 times and has been on base all 3 times. 2 hits and a fielder's choice. Sarzucci, my longtime partner, we've done basketball together, men's and women's games the last 2 years, although it seemed like maybe 8, 10. Sar, the voice of the Spartan soccer, the very successful Spartan women's soccer program. Sar, an assistant coach on the football team. He was a defensive backs coach last year, correct, Sar?
That's right. I helped with defensive backs last 2 years.
He is Mr. Big Man on campus here at Case Western. That's an error at third, and coming home and scoring is Rieger. And safe at second is the one that started it all, Biz Berry.
How about that base running for the Spartans? Rieger with the heads up. Just know that she's going to go, and the speed to beat the throw. Didn't have a chance to come home. And then Biz Berry with her speed. And the Spartans team is very quick on the bases. They've showed it today, stealing bases, and then just on every pass ball, wild pitch that we've had, it seems like the Spartans have turned it into positive gains.
So we're going to wait to see, is it an error on the throw or from the shortstop, or is it an error on the third baseman? There's an error on the play. Eddie's going to check it out. And what it means for the Spartans is they get another run. They've got 9.
And still with just 1 out,
Yeah,
2
1
runners
out,
in scoring position.
Line drive, second out of the inning. Nice play at third by Nicole Cicchetti.
Now batting, number 11.
Bellarusso now steps to the plate. 2 outs, and she's got 2 of her teammates on at second and third. Pass ball, another run's coming in. It has been a rough inning. Safe at the plate in a play that was closer than I thought it was going to be. That's Steffes who scored. Elena's got 4 runs scored this afternoon. She has scored 4 of the 10.
That was a ball. Thank you. We're gonna have a pinch runner. It's gonna be 3.
So Josie Henry is going to bring in Tara Fritcher to run at third base. So Fritcher's going to come in and run, and Biz Berry will come back into the dugout. Fritcher has played in 5 games so far this year. She has been at to bat only once, but she scored 3 runs. She has been a pinch running specialist for Coach Henry.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Now running at third base for the Spartans. Number 3, Tara Fritcher.
One pitch is called for a strike. Bellarusso on the day. Ground ball to second and an RBI in the second inning. Walked to lead off the fourth and then had an RBI single in the fifth inning. Russo 1 for 2. On the year, hitting just below 300. Spartans up 10-4. We're in the bottom half of the sixth. This is Jesse Worthman at the plate, or actually in the circle for NYU, and it has been a rough inning for Jesse, and that's ball 4. It all started with that fly ball to left field that got caught up in the sun, that fell in for what would be called a triple. If that ball's caught, maybe this inning ends differently. Because that led to 2 walks, then a fielder's choice, then another fielder's choice, a line out, and a walk. So you could make the argument that the Spartans have done absolutely nothing this inning and scored 3 runs.
Yeah, certainly NYU wants to tighten up fielding because that's been a big part of why the Spartans have been so strong in this inning. But on top of that, stolen bases and just base running in general has been huge for this team that is so good at that.
Pitch is inside, and it's called a strike. Counts even at 1. Kaylin Zuzai walked in her last at bat. It was her first at bat, and she knocked in a run with that walk. Two balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch to Zuzai, and that's inside again, right under the hands. That's strike 2. Worthman looking for a strikeout, needing it desperately. And the pitch is low, counts even, or counts full now at 3-2.
And can't afford to give up a walk here. I'll send the Spartans back to the top of their lineup with the bases loaded.
Fly ball, left field, hit deep down the line, and it's foul. Zuzai turned on that one. You had said she has a home run already this year.
Yeah,
and it was a 3-run homer,
that's right? Her only base hit of the year was a home run. She can hit it, and she wants it when she gets the pitches she likes. We've seen that a couple times now today.
Full count, and that's ball 4. So Zuzai with another walk. That is the 4th walk of the inning for the Violets. And as Sar pointed out, that walk brings the top of the order for Case Western Reserve. This is Kella Jagoda.
It's an interesting day for her, 0 for 4, and we don't really see that very often. So you imagine at some point or another she's going to break through. Now would be a great time for it from the Spartans' perspective.
Violets will get a called strike on Jagoda. Kella, the senior, out of Illinois. Same spot, it's strike 2. She was first team all UAA a year ago. Started in all 43 games, all of them in center field, right back to the mound, and this one's going to get the Violets out of the inning. Not before the Spartans score 3 and up their lead to 6. We head to the top of the 7th. It's 10-4, Case Western Reserve. I tell you what, I don't know who's spinning the tunes here, but Cotton Eye Joe is a popular song.
Now we're going to have a pinch hitter as well. It's going to be 30. Lots of change.
Bella Russo looked like she should be on Dancing with the Stars
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
to
Number
Cotton Eye
15
Joe.
Case Western
Coach Henry
Reserve.
says that she was in Bella Russo.
Bella Russo was in
She
Dancing
was
with
an
the Stars?
Irish dancer.
Oh, an Irish
And
dancer.
she
See, we're
apparently
discovering
still
all
got
sorts
some
of
of those
things.
skills now.
So we've got a new pitcher for the Spartans. Lexi Miskie's day is done, or at least during game one it's done. And Jenna Yaklich is now into pitch for Case Western Reserve.
Now
Also have a
batting for
new hitter for NYU.
number 30,
Chloe Stone will now hit for NYU. So Yaklich is appearing in her 6th game so far this year, all in relief. She has yet to have a decision. No wins, no losses, no saves. And her first offering's a ground ball. Potts with a great play, dive, throw, and almost got him at first base. That's going to go as a base hit. Boy, that was a great play by Potts and almost a super scoop by Russo.
Another pinch hitter, 18. We may have a run or two.
So another pinch hitter for NYU coming in to hit for the Violets
First three is going to run.
is number
And then 18.
13, who is not on my roster.
18.
It's 18?
18.
18. It's Emily Barbieri.
And 3 is a pitcher.
And a pinch runner as well.
Gentlemen, your attention, please. Now running at first base for the Violets. Number 3, Monica Komorowski. Ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Violets. Number 16, Emily Barbieri.
So Monique Kamrowski will run. She's at first base looking like she wants to get to second in a hurry. And this is Barbieri at the plate. First pitch, hitting right field, fly ball, shallow, and coming in and making a real nice catch for the Spartans is Nyla Durham.
All right, not pinch hitting for your leadoff hitter.
One out.
Now batting, number 11, Margot Lesser.
There's a lot of movement going on here in the top half of the 7th.
And Coach Henry back out to talk to the umpire. I'm not sure if she's going to make another change or what the discussion is here.
So the top of the order is back up for NYU, and that's Margot Lesser. Lesser 0 for 1 officially. She's been at the plate 3 times. She struck out, sacrificed, knocked in a run, and walked. Kai Gross is back at second base. She got some sunglasses. Yaklich is on the rubber between the circles.
Strike.
No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Ground ball, Bisberry. Nice play. Force at second. Gross thought about turning it, held on wisely. And the Spartans with 2 outs. What a play by Bisberry.
Now batting.
It's very different this inning when you got Yaklich in the circle too, compared to what we've seen with Lexi Miskey, who throws the rise ball we talked about earlier. But Yaklich throws more of a drop, so you get a lot of these plays in the infield, and it's really on some of these fielders to make plays. And we've seen Potts nearly got the throw to first, and now Barry with a nice play at third, and that's
15 is batting. 15.
a reassuring sight to see if your coach Henry gives you a little bit more variety that you're allowed to play with in the circle as this season goes on.
Alexa Very is now going to hit for NYU. And back to Yaklich for a second. A year ago, she appeared in 23 games for Coach Henry. And 20 of those 23 were right there in the circle as a pitcher. She had 4 saves. She went 1-0. And her earned run average was very good, 2.36. And that is strike one.
4 saves tied the Spartan program record for saves in a single season as well.
No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Spartans 1 out away from winning game 1. Ground ball should do it. Potts will take it herself, and the game's over. Spartans win 10-4. They knock off the Violets in game 1 of 2 here today from Mather Park. Lexi Miskey will get the win. That will be her 10th on the season. The Spartans with the team win, that's 18. They are 18-2 on the year. NYU falls to 5-10. We'll take a break. I'm thinking probably, Eddie, do you know? It's going to be a half-hour break. We'll be back with the start of game 2 at just about 4:30. It's almost 4 o'clock. So come on back, have a little break, and we'll bring you game 2 from Mather Park in northeastern Ohio on a chilly but sunny late March Friday afternoon.